Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Aquarian Mind podcast. Today's podcast, episode number 323. I'm your host, Jamel Crothers. It's Wednesday Motivation and Inspiration, and today we're talking about outworking your potential. Yeah, this is going to be a good one today. Now, there's one thing that I will admit to you. I never knew my full potential and what I'm capable of until I became an author. When I got to a place of consistent writing, that's when I knew I could outwork my potential and achieve anything I put my mind to. Now, what I want you to know is that you can outwork your potential. You can go harder than what you normally would, work towards your goals that you would never really set for yourself, but you have to know that you have it in you. You just haven't explored all of it yet, and you haven't learned what you're truly capable of quite yet. So wherever you are in your life, you think that you're working to your fullest potential with the job you have or the career you have. But in all honesty, if you take that out of the equation and you say, I'm going to do something for myself, that's when you know you have that opportunity to really outwork your potential and who you really are. And you won't know how great you can be until you just start crushing your goals one after the other. So please, I implore you to stop hindering yourself and keeping yourself in a box and keeping yourself back from all of the potential that you truly have. Because if you're good at more than one thing, look into all of those things. Focus on all of those things that you're good at and keep at it daily. I didn't know that I would have a podcast. I just looked at it as, well, it's an opportunity to get my voice out. And when I first started, this whole podcasting space, I was talking about all the bad things going on in the world. I was exposing a lot of different things. And then I got to a place where it just didn't fulfill me anymore after a year. And I was just like, why am I talking about all this? People are just listening to me and probably not doing anything about it. So I revamped my podcast. So honestly, this is year 4 of my podcast, but year 1 is pretty much wiped out. It literally does not exist. I saved those podcasts, but then I was like, I don't feel the need to save all this stuff. And I got rid of it. But anyway, when I decided to start writing books, I was like, okay, great. Then I said, you know what? Now I should do a podcast. And then when I revamped my podcast and I said to myself, let's do the day in the life of an author in a way. But I couldn't do it all the time. I needed to give different perspectives of what I'm doing and why. And that's where Mondays with Mellow came from, where it's, okay, let's talk about what's on your mind on Mondays. And then Wednesday, okay, let's do that motivation, inspirational stuff. And then Fridays, you can just talk about the books that you've written and why and what goes into it. And that's when I knew I had something. Now, I knew that I wasn't going to sit behind a microphone and talk for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour. No, because I already knew that my attention span isn't longer than 30 minutes for a lot of podcasts, unless it's really great or it's interviews or it's getting in the mind of someone that is interesting. That's when it'll hold my attention. Prime example. I watched basketball like a nut from 8 years old to about basically early this year. So when there are basketball podcasts and people are talking to other former NBA players, things like that, I'll pay attention because I want to know what players were thinking about going through in certain moments and how they got to where they were. So it's more of an inspiring factor. Now, I've written books, podcasts, blogs, interviews with other people. So I started to say, okay, I'm good at more than one thing. And that's what I mean by outworking your potential. You're not just great at one thing. At this point in this world and where we all are, I would say, I would not even be surprised at, I would say about 80% of people in this world are great at more than one thing. Wouldn't be surprised. The problem is that we don't explore those things and we don't see what we're good at. Like, I didn't think I could format my own books, but I taught myself. I didn't even think I had the attention span to edit and proofread my own content. Pretty good at that too. So this is where I am saying stop hindering yourself. Stop, preventing yourself from going after it. You may have a great voice for a podcast. You just don't think you do. But you sit and do interviews with people and do business summits and all that stuff. I've told people on social media, you need a podcast. And you need a podcast. I've told a young lady, she's a one-on-one coach. Yeah, you need a podcast. And people go, oh, well, I'll think about it. I got this going on. I got that going on. No, you're just hindering yourself. That's all. It's that simple. So at the end of the day, I really want you to be great. And I want you to do whatever you want as far as your passion. I want you to love what you do. I want you to love everything that connects to your heart and your soul. No matter what your talents and gifts are, there's room for you to succeed. So I need you to remember that. And your potential is greater than what you think it is. You have to believe in yourself, who you are, what you're capable of, and how far you can go. I want you to look in the mirror at yourself daily and tell yourself you're great, you will achieve success, and you will outwork the potential you have in you. I want you to give yourself positive affirmations daily. And every once in a while, reflect on all that you've accomplished and know that you can achieve more. And it's something that I'm getting better at, reflecting on things that I've accomplished. Because I'm someone that does not celebrate my goals or celebrate my accomplishments or anything like that. Yeah, I'm just not that guy. I'm really not. I'm not going to sit here and act like I am. I'm not going to sit here and act like, I'm just this person that goes, hey, look at me. I'm not. I don't even promote myself the way I should. I don't even say, well, I'm a great writer. I'm actually saying it probably for the first time in months. So I want you to all go out into the world and do things that move you, that drive you, that motivate you, and things that inspire you. Because the chances you don't take now can end up being regrets later on in your life. And I need you all to know that. I always tell you, be 80 with memories, not 80 with regrets. Because if I'm blessed to live to 80, I know that wherever I am in life and wherever I live, hopefully it's like in Italy or Spain, just a goal of mine, I will be able to sit and say, I outworked my potential. I did all of the things that I wanted to do with myself. I wanted certain things. I went after it. I didn't stop myself. I didn't hinder myself, and I worked my butt off. And I want you to think the same exact way. I don't care how old you are. 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. You have time. And with that said, that is my podcast for today. My website, theaquarianmindpodcast.com. You can listen to my pods. You can sign up you can put your first name, your email, and when I publish episodes, you can just go onto my website and listen to my podcast there. I have like special media players where I kind of make, special things in the background, which makes it pretty cool. You can listen to it on your phone, your tablet, your laptops, your MacBooks, whatever works for you. We're all on the go, so chances are you're listening to this podcast right now, either on your phone or your iPad or your tablet. And I thank you for listening. As always, Friday will be my last episode for the year, and I will have a date for when I return on Friday. I want you all to have a good rest of your week. Be good and go accomplish your goals.